Hi Scorpio, welcome to your weekly forecast for June 24th through the 30th. This is a general reading for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Guys, keep in mind it's general. There's a lot of people on YouTube. Some of it may resonate, none of it may resonate, a lot of it may resonate, but no need to get upset if it doesn't resonate. I guarantee you that if you are here, if Spirit has brought you here, there is at least one message for you in this reading. But you know, if it's not hitting, or if you just want extra info, be sure to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos too, because watching your moon sign and rising sign video can also be very helpful. All right, my dears, we're going to connect and see what's coming up for our Scorpio friends. We've got our ongoing ocean mermaidy summery theme here, and I've got yet another beautiful ocean mermaid deck for my lovely YouTube friends. Here's your Monday, Tuesday, Scorpio, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And after this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull an angel card for you guys from a different deck. Ooh, okay, my darlings. Scorpio. This can be a card that maybe we're not so happy to see, but I want to explain it a little bit more. The creator of this deck has this card labeled as loss, okay? And I think it's just their way of trying to make it helpful to learn the tarot. So like if you forget some of the meanings of the cards, it can be helpful to have the little words at the bottom. So and if you are interested in that, I do have the link in the description to check out the deck. But Seven of Swords is a lot deeper than just loss. It can mean loss. But even when it comes to loss, Seven of Swords is usually loss having to do with somebody being sneaky and taking something from you. So it could be stealing or theft, but there's a lot of other meanings to this card. The tarot cards have a lot of layers, and intuitively it's up to the reader to just kind of feel the energy and what that particular card means. So Seven of Swords, usually when it comes up for me, it's somebody who's being sneaky, somebody who's trying to turn a situation in their favor. Okay, so I'm gonna say Scorpio. And what I'm feeling intuitively, there's certain things happening with a lot of you Scorpios where even if you feel like you're stuck in life, or even if you feel like you're not where you want to be, there is someone around you who sees that you're about to have some good luck come your way, or that your hard work is paying off in some way. They see that you're going places, and they're like, I'm gonna get in good with Scorpio now, right? Because I can feel something's about to happen for them, and I want to be the person where I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna be like, oh Scorpio, remember, I was with you before all this happened. I was before you, before all the good luck, before all the positive things. Like, I'm your true blue friend. So some of you might have somebody like that kind of sneaking in or slipping in. Some of you might have an ex who's creeping around online and trying to figure out if this is a good time to reach out and to contact you again. I am just going to say this, because this energy is going to come up in different ways for different ones of you. There are so many Scorpios out there in the world, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions, I don't know. But it's not going to be the same exact situation for every single Scorpio, in other words. But I'm just going to say this. Be cautious of opportunities or people that are coming up in the beginning of the week, because there could be something sneaky, okay? And I'm not someone that I'm like really into astrology. I do believe that there's truth in it. I'm not an astrology expert, but I remember hearing somebody said sometimes with Mercury retrograde, there can be theft, or like something about Mercury retrograde can cause things to be stolen, or like a situation where you can like lose out on something. And I'm not superstitious really, and I've been through a lot of Mercury retrogrades where nothing like that has ever happened, but I'm just gonna say in the beginning of the week, Scorpio, I would just be cautious. I'm a Scorpio too, so this kind of like my little antenna just went up. So I'm just gonna say be cautious in the beginning of the week for anybody who's just kind of coming at you, especially if they're being overly nice, or if they're really telling you like all the perfect things, like, oh my goodness, I so wanted to hear this. be cautious, okay? Because this person might be trying to butter you up because they either want to get in your pants or they want to get in your pockets, okay? I'm just going to tell it to you straight. So this doesn't mean you have to close yourself off and not give anybody a chance. It just means that whatever is coming up in the beginning of the week, maybe let this person or this opportunity prove itself, like give it some time, see if it stands the test of time. And if it stands the test of time, then by all means go for it. But pay attention for any red flags. Listen to your gut, listen to your instinct. Something may be coming up in the beginning of the week where it's not it's not in your favor. Somebody is trying to find ways to benefit from you or benefit from a situation, or they feel like in some way you're going to benefit their situation. That shark, now I'm going to tell you honestly, this shark is on all of the sword cards in this deck, because every sword card, she has a shark on it. But sharks are opportunistic. They're opportunistic hunters, right? They'll see something and they'll go for it. Like they're kind of on the prowl. They see something, they're gonna go after it. So that's kind of jumping out at me in this scenario. I just heard that right now, and I've been doing all the other readings and I've been seeing the swords cards, but it just jumped out at me. It's like the opportunistic hunter, just intuitively looking at the card. So this could just be somebody who sees a lot of potential in you, more than you see in yourself. Okay, and so just be cautious. Just be cautious. You might have accomplished a lot of things, and you might be like, well, I haven't seen this person in a while and they don't know, but they could be snooping up on you online. They can have seen things. They could have gathered information, if like, for example, I don't know, whatever. They might just have ways of accessing certain things, or seeing things on LinkedIn, or seeing things if you have social media, or if you have like your business stuff out there. They might be seeing that you're doing well, and so they're coming back like, oh real, oh wow, I had no idea, oh that's so wonderful for you. But really they're trying to get in good with you, because they're, like I said, they're trying to get in your pants or they're trying to get in your pocket. So just be cautious of that. Your Wednesday, Thursday, Scorpio, is the Death card, and I'm happy to see this. I'm super duper happy to see this, and I will tell you why. People are like, what? Loss and then death? How could you be happy to see this? I'm not a sick, twisted, sadistic person, I promise you. The Death card is actually the card for Scorpios. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it was last week or the week before, I think it came up for Scorpios again. But when it comes up, it's letting us know, like, when your card, whatever your astrological sign is, and if that card comes up for you when you're reading, it's a good sign, because it means something is happening where you're really coming into the positive attributes of your sun sign, or your moon sign, if it happens to be your moon sign, that these qualities are coming to the surface and you're going to be able to use them to your advantage. The Scorpio is represented by the Death card, because the Scorpio is constant change. We are the masters of reinventing ourselves. We are the phoenix rising. You can't keep a Scorpio down. And I've said this in a lot of the other videos. Scorpios had a really rough 10 to 12 years up until very recently, until Saturn started its new cycle over this past summer. So it hasn't been until this year that things maybe started to pick up or turn around. And like I said, Scorpio, it still might not be where you want it to be, but we're out of that really rough patch, right? So even then, it was a really rough 10 or 12 years, but we're still standing. If you're watching this video, you're still standing. You're still here. You made it through. Maybe some of you were just barely, but you made it through. And that's the Scorpio. You can't keep the Scorpio down. The Scorpio will always rise. So we're masters of letting go what doesn't work for us, or what doesn't serve us anymore. That's why sometimes we have a tough reputation, that we don't forgive, or we're cold, or we cut people off. It takes a lot for a Scorpio to get there. It takes a lot for a Scorpio to get there. So it's not like we're just going around randomly, stinging people for no reason and cutting them off for no reason. It takes a lot to get there. Scorpios are actually very loyal. But when it comes to realizing that something is not good for us, or that it's time to change, we do it. We do it because the discomfort and the unpleasantness of holding on to it is so much stronger than any fear we have. We might still have fear of letting someone or something go, but the ickiness of the situation is so unbearable that it gives us the courage, or it's stronger than the fear, that we're like, okay, so we're masters of letting things go in that way. But really, this is about transformation. This is about rebirth. Okay, so whatever is happening with that Seven of Swords, I'm telling you, a lot of you guys, Scorpio, this is a time where you're going to have a chance to change a karmic cycle, where maybe in the past there's a certain person that they have gotten away with murder with you, as far as it, you know, they're concerned. It could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be someone from your childhood, it could be a lover or an ex, it could be a partner, where anybody else you would have been like, oh no, you can't treat me like that, or oh no, you can't do this. But for whatever reason with that person, they have a habit, they have a cycle of coming in and out, or they have a cycle of putting you through the same heartache again and again and again. And we already had that sneaky energy in the beginning of the week, so there's a good chance somebody's going to step up to do something like that again. And this is your chance to say no and to have your boundary firm. And if you do this, you're breaking through that obstacle, you're breaking through that cycle, you're breaking through that block, you're reinventing your agreement with the universe, you're reinventing, or you're ending a karmic contract with someone. Okay, this is about letting what doesn't serve you go and coming into the new energy. We have sharks again here in the background, right? And we have little sharks here circling around, right? It's almost like they're coming in and they're looking for the goodies, but there's nothing here, right? There's a sunken ship, but I don't see any, you know, any food for them there. I don't see anything that's going to be useful for them there. They're just sniffing around like, okay, what is this? There's nothing for me here. And then they'll go off. So I think for a lot of you Scorpios, you're cutting somebody off. You're flat out cutting somebody off. Some of you, it might come in where they've already stolen, or they've already taken, or they've already pulled the wool over your eyes. And in the beginning of the week, you're realizing it, you're seeing it, like, oh my goodness, you're doing this again. But midweek, you're like, nope, you're changing it. You're changing that agreement. So there's nothing for them to receive from you anymore. I just feel really strong, Scorpio, you're cutting somebody off. You're like, there's no more of this little game that you're playing. Not gonna happen anymore. Maybe I loved you, maybe I felt sorry for you, maybe I wanted to be there for you, I wanted to be a good partner or a good friend or a good family member or whatever, but this is no more. There's nothing left for you here, right? So I do feel, Scorpio, you're cutting somebody off. Your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is King of Wands. So this is awesome. Okay. Somebody asked in one of the other readings, they commented asking us, you know, is it going to be this zodiac sign? So traditionally, King of Wands, we're going to think of like a Sagittarius, an Aries, or a Leo, because it's a fire sign. But I always say this in the weekly readings, this is more about you and less about another person. So if you're looking about like a love reading or something like that, I do the love reading separately, and you can watch it after this video by clicking on the link in the description. But for the King of Wands, maybe some of you might be dealing with a fire sign. Maybe there's a fire sign involved in this karmic situation that you're graduating from or that you're completing from. But more likely, to be honest with you, because of the way that I read and because of the intention I set when I do the weekly forecast, this is more about you, Scorpio. This is more about the energy that you're coming into and the transformation that you're experiencing as a person. I want the weekly readings to be more about you. That's why I do the love readings separately, right? Because you're a person. You're more than your crush. You're more than your love life. You're more than your partner. Let's focus on you. So this is, I feel very strongly, you're coming into this King of Wands energy. Those of you who have fire in your moon or in your rising, you may be pulling on that very naturally. It may be coming very naturally for you. For other ones of you, you're rising up into this energy, okay? And I always say King of Wands is my tarot crush. I got a crush on the King of Wands. Not because of this handsome gentleman here on this card or the way King of Wands looks on any of the other tarot decks. It's more of the story. I love the story of the King of Wands. And I've said this in the past. King of Wands was not born a king. He became a king. He rose to power because he saw a need, or he saw people suffering, and he got tired of his own suffering, and he stepped up and he began to make changes. He began to fix things. He saw things weren't okay and he handled it. He's like, I'm not going to suffer. I'm not going to live in lack. I'm not going to live in poverty. And he turned things around, and he remembered where he came from. He remembered his struggle. And when he was in a good place, he did what he could to help other people come up too. And so people were like, wow, you're amazing. Please be our king. You know, that's kind of how King of Wands became the king, because he handled something. But everything King of Wands has, he has worked for. And he doesn't take it for granted, right? He's down to earth. He's humble. But he's also a man of action, right? He's not going to complain. He's not going to get upset. He's not going to bitch and moan. If something needs to be handled, he's going to get up and he's going to handle it. He doesn't have time for drama. He doesn't have time for self-pity. He doesn't have time to argue with anybody about what they should have done or could have done or whatever. It's like just like it's time for change. And King of Wands is very creative and very smart and very fiery and just makes that happen. So Scorpio, especially since I do feel that some of you are cutting someone off, that kind of frustration, or that like when you're so done, I feel you're coming into your fiery energy. A lot of the times when I see Queen of Wands, she's really, for me, the symbol of being fed up and like I'm done, I'm out of here, I'm doing what I need to do, I'm rising up into my power. But we don't have Queen of Wands here, we have King of Wands, but I'm feeling his energy very similar in that way. The way that it's different to have the king instead of the queen is, I will say this, and I'm not being sexist here, I'm just saying in terms of energy, there's certain personality traits that we list as, I don't know who, you know, I'm not gonna say, like, let me okay, there are certain personality traits or certain parts of human nature that are listed as masculine, and there are certain traits that are listed as feminine, okay? And so feminine traits would be like creativity, right? The emotional connection to things, the nurturing energies, those are labeled as feminine. What's labeled as masculine is like action, planning, making things happen, taking steps forward, leadership. Now, does that mean women can't take action and plan and be leaders? Absolutely not. Because we all have masculine and feminine energies. Even if you identify as one or the other, you have both energies within you. So you're coming into that masculine energy of planning, of taking action, of taking leadership and making something happen. Scorpio, I feel that some of you are about to have this really massive financial breakthrough that you're going to be really humbled by. And you, like the King of Wands, you're gonna remember your struggle. You're gonna remember, and this ties in with last week's reading because you guys had abundance then too. But like, this is it right before that abundance comes in. You are cutting off or cutting out certain people that if you don't, these are the people that are going to guilt you or manipulate you to get into your pockets or to get into your pants so that they can get into your pockets or whatever, to get into your bank account, to take from you. And sometimes we work very hard, but we don't receive the blessing because Spirit knows we're in such a toxic environment, or we have such toxic people around us, that they're just going to take and take and take and take. So like, even if you were to win the lottery, or even if you were to like have this inheritance, or even if you were to have this business that really took off and was super successful, that if that blessing came in, the people around you would come in like these little scavengers, like these sharks, and gobble it up and leave you shipwrecked, right? So what's the point in giving it to you if you're not going to be able to keep it? right? But that death card is, you know, right now they're circling around. You're like, there's nothing here for you, and there's not going to be anything for you. And you're coming into this energy, right? So that you're about to receive the blessing, and you're taking the steps that are going to bring that blessing in. And you're going to be able to do some real good with the blessing that you receive, like the King of Wands did, right? King of Wands didn't forget where he came from, and he was very charitable. So that's, I feel, what's going to be happening for a lot of you. Sagittarius had something very similar. So some of you may have a moon or rising in Sagittarius, because we have this fire sign here. Or some of you might be dealing with a Sagittarius that's helping you in this massive shift. But I feel overall the majority, Scorpio, regardless of whether or not you have fire in your birth chart, you are coming into that King of Wands energy yourself. Let's check out your angel message for the week. And again, check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. You might need a private reading. More than happy to do that, my darlings. If you go to the description of the video, it will take you to the Calendly link so that you can schedule a reading with me. Your angel message here is Angel of Guidance. A renewed sense of direction and purpose will soon manifest. So you might feel a lot changing, you know. You may have seen last week's reading and this week's reading, and you're like, well, Amethyst, you know, said that there's going to be this change for Scorpios. And yes, these are general readings, you know, so it might be on different time frames for different ones of us. But you just might be like, I know something is going to change. I feel it's going to change. I'm watching all these readings are saying it's going to change, but I'm not sure how it's going to happen. I'm not sure how I'm going to get there, or I'm not sure what maybe I might be missing. And so your angels and guides want you to know is that you're exactly where you need to be in this moment. It might not be clear to you what the next step is, but what I'm hearing is that the next step is so big that if you knew what it was now, you might psych yourself out, and you might freak yourself out, and you might close the door and say, nope, not gonna do it. It's okay. I'll just take my life the way that it is right now. And that's why some of you are going to have that Seven of Swords and that Death card moment, so that you can walk through that door. So you have that fiery King of Wands energy. You're like, you know what? I'll take it. You know, I'm over it. I'm done with this, right? I'm going to walk into something better. I'm going to, you know, allow myself to have this ambitious step forward, where maybe before you would have been like, I don't know, I want to keep it simple, I don't want to do something so big. But it's coming in, my dears. It's coming in. And so your angels are saying, just trust and know. And the thing that jumps out at me about this card is that star there in the third eye. So I really feel your intuition is going to be picking up, and you are going to be, what is this? I think it's candle wax. Yep, it's candle wax. That you're going to be picking up guidance piece by piece, right? You will have all of the pieces of the puzzle. It will come to you in dreams. It will come to you in meditation. It will come to you in prayer. I'm hearing for some of you, it's coming to you while you're working out. So like if you've been trying to be more active and you've been going for walks or hikes or swimming or whatever, it's like you're going to have little flashes of your future, and you're going to say, oh my goodness, it all makes sense now. It all, like, I see it. But it's coming to you piece by piece so that you can digest it, because this is a lot bigger than maybe what your limited mind previously had told yourself you could accomplish. Okay, so it's good, right? Just be patient and understand and know that even though you don't see the whole picture now, it's coming, and you will have the whole picture soon enough, my dears. Thank you so very much for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. The love videos for July and the cross watcher videos for July are going to be up pretty soon. They're going to be up a little bit early. So if you hit subscribe and notification in the next couple of days when they're up, you will receive the notice. Thank you so very much, Scorpio. Have a fabulous week.